Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and we are here today with County Executive Ed FitzGerald. Thanks so much for talking with us today.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
You are here today at IdeaCenter to talk about Arts and Culture Roundtable,
Right.
and to talk about your 12-point plan. Give it a little brief overview, 10 seconds, the high points of the 12-point plan. I'm not sure a lot of people are familiar.
Yeah. Well, we announced it at the State of the County address that I gave earlier this year, but it covers a whole range of things from economic development to encouraging young people to move to the greater Cleveland area to downtown development, really the whole gamut of things, social services, law enforcement, covers a lot of things, but arts and culture are a prime ingredient in a lot of those different policies.
And how so? What is the key way that arts and culture stimulates economic development for you, I guess?
Sure. Well, I'll give you a couple different examples. Number one is we know that the arts are a good investment in terms of creating jobs. I mean, the tax that we've had that has supported arts and culture here has been a huge economic driver of jobs. So arts and culture is a good thing in and of itself, but there's also a really compelling argument to be made that it creates jobs and creates a more vibrant economy. Another part of our plan, Thomas, is that we're trying to make downtown Cleveland a real destination, even more than it already has become. And you can't do that without a big arts and culture component.
Exactly. Young people also is a big part of this, and you've got a committee for young people. Talk about this.
We do. We have something we call the Next Generation Council, and it's people younger than myself, now that I'm over 40. And we kind of check in with them about strategies that we can engage. One of the things that happens in government sometimes, not just government, but in government, is you get in a bubble, and sometimes you realize you're not really talking to the younger generation. We're trying to include them in our policy-making decisions.
That's laudable, and you have to make an effort because it generally doesn't happen.
It won't happen on its own because you do kind of default to a seniority system sometimes, and there's something to be said for that. People that have lived long lives have something to add, but there's also real benefit to including people that haven't been around for 40 years and have a fresh perspective.
Speaking of fresh, this whole county system is pretty brand new here, a couple years in. Your take on it all? Of course, you've got a vested interest. You're at the top of this new system, but you also have a way of being very honest, I think, about what our failings are and where we need to go. What's your assessment of where we're at with this whole county reorganization?
We're not perfect yet, but we are getting there. I mean, we're about 2 years into the experiment, and we're smaller, we're more efficient, we're putting more money into economic development. We have a law enforcement initiative. I mean, there's a lot of things that we're doing for the first time, and so I think overall, especially compared to where we were, we're contributing to progress instead of holding it back, and that's a great thing.
Right. Talk about this recent election we just had, because this was very important to the whole, the country, to the county, to Cuyahoga County, to Cleveland itself.
It was. I mean, look, from a partisan perspective, I mean, I'm a Democrat. Obviously, it went my way, but it's also a good thing because the Obama administration has been a good partner for us, and we need federal help for a lot of our infrastructure needs, things we want to do on the lakefront, things what we want to do with economic development, social policies. They've been a good partner for us, so that's helpful. I think it's good news for the area.
Speaking of politics, your name has come up for governor. Are you ready to make a decision on that?
Not that I will tell you about. I am ready to make a decision on it. I think I'm going to announce something after the first of the year, maybe not right after the first of the year, early part of next year.
Which way are you leaning for now?
I'm not leaning. I'm exactly standing straight, and I'm not leaning in any direction. But I'm taking it very seriously. But I'll tell you, one thing that I find to be encouraging is that to me it's a compliment about how county reform has gone. The fact that I'm even being mentioned for it, I think, is a good sign that people are realizing that this area has gotten its act together. So hopefully it's not all about me. It's also a reflection on that we're showing that we can get things done here.
Thanks, Ed, for taking a few moments to talk with us. We'll see you inside. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.